24 minutes before 11 o'clock right here on Power FM Zimbabwe. Uletu coming through there with Huya, and also got to play you Easy to Love coming through there from Busi featuring Heavy K. Good morning to you. It is The Connection right here on Power FM Zimbabwe. And remember, each and every Thursday, we do have the Dr. Joe who comes through, who's our resident doctor. And we have Doctor on call. So he's here to always answer, some of the medical questions that we might have. And remember, you can get to come through with your questions on our WhatsApp platform number 0712-831-172, or you can get to give us a call on 498-652 and 498-654. You can also get to check it out on our Facebook page as we live stream at Power FM Zimbabwe. That is our Facebook page. Okay, so get to come through as we talk to Dr. Joe. Good morning to you, Dr. Joe. How are you?
Good morning, Miss Rach. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. And yourself?
Great.
So excited to have Dr. Joe, and he's always helping us each and every time. And we definitely got to be grateful for that. So remember, you can get to come through with your questions, okay? Your contributions, you want clarity on something, I'm sure he will actually be able to help us out. All right, so Doc, interesting topic that we have this particular week. We want to talk about postpartum depression.
Yes.
All right. I mean, whenever a person is pregnant, we are always thinking, listen, it's a guarantee that it's a happy moment. When they give birth, they're going to be so happy. They're going to be holding their baby. They're going to be kissing their baby. It's just going to be love that's going to be coming through. But on the other hand, it's not always the case.
That's true.
How is this even a possibility, Doc? I mean, a bundle of joy. And now you're telling me that I might be going through depression because of this bundle of joy.
Yeah, it happens. We say it affects up to about 15% of women. Mm-hmm. And by the way, it also affects men.
Oh.
Yeah, it also affects men. Up to about 1 to 5% of men can be affected.
How are men affected? I mean, these are not the ones that are carrying the baby.
The cause really behind the effect on men is not really known. But people think of the physical part of it, because now there is demand for you to look after this baby, maybe financially and also physically. You have to be there and help with taking care of this baby. And that brings the challenge, and that brings the depression in men. With women, it's both physical and hormonal. There are a lot of hormones that change when you give birth, and then there are also physical issues and then social issues. Then can also be a history of depression. If you had depression before, you've got a high chance of developing postpartum depression. If there is a family history of postpartum depression in your family, you might also develop postpartum depression. So it's multifactorial. There are a lot of things that happen. And normally we say it affects women after delivery, within first week of delivery to up to about a month. That's when it kicks in. Usually if you go beyond a month, it's highly unlikely that it will kick in. You'll have adapted to the new environment, you'll have adapted to the baby, and you'll be okay. And it can last for a maximum of up to about 1 year with that depression. So it can be a long thing that can last for a longer period of time, and it can become even severe to get to what we call postpartum psychosis. This now is very, very severe. You are now delusional, you are now paranoid, you are hallucinating, you're seeing things, and you might end up needing, when it gets to postpartum psychosis, might end up needing admission.
Wow.
Yeah, and can actually need antipsychotics, proper antipsychotics.
This makes me sad because you wouldn't want that for anyone. I mean, it's supposed to be a good time. Okay, so how does it come about, Doc?
How it comes about is once you give birth, things change in your life, and we say it affects people mainly with a low socio-economic status. And in the Americas, they see it affects mainly black women are affected more than Caucasian women, and they are pointing out to these issues to do with family support, social support, financial support. If these things are not in place, your husband is not there, and you are alone, and you're single, and then you get depressed, and now you've got this baby who's demanding on you, and you have to take care of the baby emotionally, physically, and also socially. Then the problem comes in. Then also your hormones are playing a part at that point in time. You're changing hormones. Usually your estrogen is coming down. You had high estrogen when you're pregnant, and estrogen is generally a happy hormone. Now it's coming down, then the depression sets in. So mainly these 4 things: social, financial, physical, and also hormonal issues. Wow. That's the reason why people develop postpartum depression.
Right. It's also pachivanu chedu, or in our own African culture, it's said that akuna zvinhu zvakadaro. You know, hakuna unogotsa mwe unogota usikuda. How can you go through depression because wavonozvara mwana? Hakuna zvinhu zvakadaro. But zvinhu zvinowanikwa here. Is it possible that, you know, even in Zimbabwe someone can actually get to experience this?
Yeah, it's unfortunate that our culture doesn't recognize conditions like depression, even not just postpartum depression, just common depression. People don't recognize it. They think maybe you're being lazy, or you're not serious with life, or you're not taking your life seriously, and they blame you, yet it's a serious problem. So we need to raise awareness in our society here in Zimbabwe locally, and make sure that people get to know that depression is real and it's serious. People only to understand depression when someone has done something serious or committed suicide. That's when they say, he was depressed or she was depressed. But it's something that is real and it's something that is major. So we need to take it seriously, especially postpartum depression. It's common and it happens. So we need to support our ladies after they give birth. Make sure you give them love. For men, give them love, show care and support and help financially and emotionally. Also help them taking care of the baby. That will help minimize chances of them developing postpartum depression.
Let's just focus on the fathers here for a bit. I don't know why I'm finding it very difficult to understand, you know. Do they also go through the, you know, with women you say that usually kicks in about when you just give birth into a month, and
yes.
Is it also the same period with men?
With men, it's usually after 2 weeks. That's when it really kicks in that I'm a father, I have to take care of this new baby that has come into my world, and I have to buy Pampers, I have to buy all these things, I have to make sure that the baby is taken care of, and they're having challenges financially to do that. Then the stress comes in, then the depression kicks in. Usually for men, it's 2 weeks. Slightly longer than women, but for men also it lasts less, a maximum of about 6 months. So for men it's a bit less severe, and we say men normally are affected if their spouses are also affected. If your spouse is affected, your wife is affected, you've got a 50% chance of developing postpartum depression as a man. Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about some of the symptoms and signs that actually show that you might have postpartum depression. What are some of the signs and symptoms?
The signs and symptoms are essentially similar to the signs and symptoms of depression. Lack of interest in life, anhedonia, lack of drive. Then at times you sleep a lot, at times you lack sleep. Both insomnia and oversleeping are symptoms of depression. At times, loss of appetite is another symptom. Some people actually overeat because of depression. Then generally you lose interest in life, and things that commonly interest you, that you normally enjoy, you lack interest in those things. And then when it gets severe now, you end up having some suicidal thoughts. You're thinking of taking your life, or at times it can be as worse as thinking of killing your own baby. So it can go to that extent. So those are some of the symptoms that you develop with postpartum depression.
And with the baby, is there any, like, you know, problems with bonding with the baby, or you don't want to, you know, be associated with the baby, you don't want to be near the baby? Is there anything like that?
Yes, it happens. You end up hating your baby, you don't want to see the baby, and you think the baby is the source of the problem. Then because of that, the baby is also affected emotionally, because you know babies are all emotionally connected to you even from the time when they are in utero. So after that, then they get depressed as well, and then the babies also lose their eating habits because they're depressed. You can't maintain the eating habits of the baby because you need to maintain a certain timetable. Now you can't do that, and the babies are disturbed because of that. Then it affects the baby, and we see that babies that were born to mothers who developed postpartum psychosis or postpartum depression eventually in life don't do as good or as well, especially in terms of social development compared to other babies. So the baby can be affected even later on in life when the mother had developed postpartum depression.
Okay. If I happen to notice that, you know, as a mother, I am experiencing this type of depression, what can I do, you know, to sort of get out of it? Is it a possibility to get out of this phase?
Yeah, it is. And the idea is to make sure that you get out of the phase as soon as possible. Don't waste time, don't delay. So encourage that you seek help, seek professional help. Go and see a doctor, go and see a counselor, go and see a psychologist, or even a pastor or an elderly person in your family that can talk to, understands, and who can help you. Because the most important part when it comes to this is counseling. You need a lot of counseling, social counseling, family counseling, and also counseling with your partner. It's very important that you go for counseling together, and then because some of the issues also arise from the partner. So if you go for counseling together, and then you can address the partner, and then you can also get help. So it's very important for you to get counseling and get help. If it's really getting out of hand, then you might end up needing to be on antidepressants to help you. If you are failing to sleep, might end up needing to give you something to make you sleep, some sleeping tablets. So it's very important for you to seek help as soon as possible, and also try to interest yourself. Remember yourself. Just go back in time and see, I used to love this, I used to enjoy this. things, try and go back to those things and try and enjoy them. It helps to do self-therapy on your own, because at times the funds and the time might not allow you. So it will be helpful for you to also do self-counseling.
I want to talk about support, when it comes to having a baby. I think you need to have support from, your family members, even from your own partner. Some mothers will actually go through, the whole, 9 months by themselves. They don't have any form of support, whether from the family, maybe because they don't approve of how the baby came about, or, maybe even their own partner has just rejected them and said, I'm not even interested in taking care of you or the baby. How important is support, especially, let's start off with the partner, because ndiye anofana atori pa forefront aripo
that's true. Yeah, support is very important. To say up to about 80% of all women with postpartum depression, they either lack support from their spouse or support from their mother. So that's very key, the mother support and the spouse support. If the spouse is not there, you've got a higher chance of developing postpartum psychosis. And babies that are born to mothers with unwanted pregnancies or unplanned pregnancies are at higher risk of developing postpartum psychosis or depression compared to planned babies. So it's wise for you to plan for a baby, but if it happens, it gives you a higher chance of you developing postpartum psychosis. So for men out there, we encourage that even though you're having issues, even though you're not agreeing, or there are issues with your spouse or your wife, please be there for the wife, so that you help them, so that they don't develop postpartum psychosis or postpartum depression. So it's very important for the husband to be supportive, both emotionally, financially, and physically. You need to be there for your partner. If you're not there, then chances of them developing postpartum psychosis or postpartum depression are very, very high.
All right, 498-652 and 498-654. Those are the calling lines. You can get to come through there, or you can come through on our WhatsApp platform number 0712-831-172. We do have Dr. Joe, our resident doctor, right here, and he's always actually helping us. Like he said, please, gents, just be there for there. She needs you
more than ever.
She needs you. I was really thinking about the whole process of, carrying someone's child, and I was really thinking it really should be a very special moment.
Yeah, it is.
If you really think about it, where it's your seed
that is being carried by this woman.
Exactly. And she's the one who's going to give birth to this child. And,
at the end of the day, they take your surname and they're part of you. They've got your DNA, and you let them go through all this depression and all that because they're just not being supportive. It's really not a good thing. So really encourage that. It's good for you to be supportive to your spouses.
All right, Doc, you did mention that when a mother is affected by postpartum depression, it also affects the baby even in the future. Can you please explain further on this particular issue?
Yeah, studies have shown that babies that have been born to mothers who went through postpartum depression will eventually develop issues in life, social issues in particular. They've got difficulties in adapting to social stresses. They've got temper tantrums. Usually you can start seeing this at about 3.5 years. That's when you can start seeing that this child has got issues. These issues could be traced back to the depression that the mother had, and they are difficult to play with other kids. Either they are bullies, or they are resenting other kids, or they put themselves in a shelf to try and protect themselves because of the depression that the mother had. So it can be either of the two spectrums. Either they are more aggressive, they are not tolerant of other children, they become bullies, or they are more reclusive. They just hide in a shell and they can't interact with other children. So that's how these children eventually get affected by postpartum depression.
All right, 0712-831-172 for our WhatsApp platform number. And then for our calling lines, 498-652 and 498-654. Good morning, how are you?
Morning, Rachel. How are you?
Fine, thanks. And yourself?
I'm fine. I want to ask the doc.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. I think I suffered from postpartum depression. However, I didn't get any help, and my baby's already 8 months now.
Okay.
So my question is, are there any effects if you are not helped? The infant is not going to pick up later on, because I think I'm starting to adapt and I'm fine, but I constantly have backaches. Are serious? So is it connected or anything?
All right. Yes, you could still be suffering from postpartum depression if it's within, you said, 8 months now. It would be wise for you to go through counseling, go and see someone who can help you, even a pastor or someone senior in your family, someone you know is reliable and is going to be also confidential with your issues. So encourage that you can still go for counseling so that you are totally out of the blues, because if you continue with it and it's not attended to, it might eventually get worse. When you think you're actually better, you can get a relapse. So it's good for you to go through counseling and address the issues that are really triggering the depression.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Sure, my pleasure.
Thank you so much for coming through. 498-652 and 498-654. Those are the calling lines. You can also get to come through on our WhatsApp platform number 0712-831-172. Good morning. How are you?
Morning, how are you?
Fine, thanks. And yourself?
I'm fine. I was listening to the discussion that we are having.
Yes.
It's very real postpartum depression. And unfortunately, our society does not give much support.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something which really happens, I experienced it. Fortunately, I managed to get support from the doctors and from the family side. But definitely, that's something which is real.
Maybe you can.
I think 19 years ago.
Okay, maybe if you can tell us a bit of what you went through and it could help someone who's going through it right now.
What happened is I started getting some psychosis. Like I lost interest in everything. Fortunately, I did not intend to harm the baby.
Okay.
But I thought that my life was in danger somehow.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's something that really happened.
We're actually happy at least that you had support to help you through this process because like Doc said that
And it's very real.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. We definitely appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Great. It's interesting to note that, there are mothers who are coming out and saying that they've actually gotten to experience this. And, you may feel as if though something is wrong with me because this is not supposed to be happening.
Exactly.
Why am I not bonding with my child? Why are we not,
happy?
Exactly. I also want to talk about something, Doc, because someone said here that I've been married for half a year and my husband and I have agreed that it's time to have babies. We both, have to be mentally, emotionally, financially ready and steady to have children, and also his career is at its peak. So you're waiting until he can be home more often and support me. So I think couples should, take childbirth more seriously and actually plan on it. Now, this is something interesting. You can actually plan on, having babies. You can plan that we are now financially stable. But can you still also get experience postpartum after this whole planning process?
Yes, you can still get the postpartum depression after all this planning, but your chances are less because you're emotionally stable, you're financially stable, mentally you're ready to have a baby. So your chances of developing postpartum depression are less. Not that you can't develop it, you still have a probability, but your chances are very, very slim compared to someone who just jumped into it without knowing and without planning.
All right, let's find out who's there. Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine. Dr. Ronaldo.
Go ahead, please.
Doctor, sorry, inekukubvunza topic yamusina kuti dzidzisa.
No
ndikumbira kubvunza ini ndakatanga njawadzwa nepasi pechuna apa pachita kucheka pasaidi panotangira makumba apa ndaonekwa nachiremba ndobva vanditi itwa iskani chiono chichi kukonzeresa mandaitwa skani chiremba kati muchibereko handina chandiri kuona asi vakazoti kukidney ndo rinenge rakazvimba saka zvine chekuita here kuti kidney nechibereko zvinobatana.
All right, thank you so much for coming through.
All right, kidney nechibereko hazvina kubatana asi kuita pain pauri kunza on the side, it could be the urethra I mean, the tube that takes urine from the kidney getting to the bladder. It's very close to the uterus. It passes just under the fallopian tubes. So it could be that is causing the pain if the doctor said it's coming from the kidney. So it could be ureteric pain, but we really need to ascertain that. But there is a possibility. Not that good kidney in blood name.
All right, let's find out who's there. Good morning, how are you?
Morning, Miss Rach.
Hi.
Morning, Doc.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, it's Miss Chitsungo. How are you?
How are you, madam?
I'm good. I think I missed something.
All right.
I want you to tell me the signs of postpartum depression in men.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, in men, they also go through the similar symptoms of depression, lack of interest, anhedonia, lack of sleep. At times, they might even get to a point of skipping work because they are not interested in going to work. They don't keep themselves cool. They don't bath. They are not smart. They don't look after themselves. It's a sign of depression. At times, they don't like to eat as much as they used to eat. That could also be other symptoms of depression that they could develop, and they could resent the baby. And things like that. They don't want to see the child and they're avoiding the child. It could be also a sign of depression in men. Yeah.
All right. Doc, we've got a question here saying that I want to ask, is it normal to lose interest, in having sex with your partner months after giving birth? Is it part of this depression that you are actually talking about?
Yeah, very, very true. Depression can also cause low libido, and you lack interest in having sex with your partner. It's also a sign of postpartum depression. It's quite possible to develop that, and if it's within a year, it's possible that it could also be part of postpartum depression.
Now, Doc, some men may think that it's not normal to be that supportive to your wife. Let's talk about the bonding between father and child, especially when they're still babies. Do you encourage fathers to be more involved in taking care of the baby on a daily basis?
Yes, it's a thing of the past that the father won't do anything, or they won't take the baby, they won't change the diapers and all that. There should be bonding between the father and the baby, because the bonding starts from utero. Whilst the baby is in utero, when the father touches the pregnancy or the abdomen, the baby will feel that this hand has been touching me, and they can feel the heartbeat and know that this person has been around.
Oh.
Yeah, by the time they are born, they will know when you hold them on your chest that this heartbeat, I have known it for some time.
Wait. You mean like even mwanakana ari mudumbu?
Exactly.
They can sense kuti uyu ndiningi.
They can sense kuti munhu arundibata every day. I'm meeting this person every day.
So when the husband rubs the belly,
exactly,
they can sense good. Oh, okay, this is someone that this person always rubs. My mom's belly, and
exactly.
When they come out, they can then sense good. This is the same person.
This same person that was rubbing me.
Man,
yeah,
so sweet.
You should have one.
Doc, no. I've got cats to take care of at the moment. Okay, so it's important to bond.
It's very important to bond. The father should also get time to feed the baby, hold the baby, sit with the baby, make sure when the baby sleeps, they are there, or they even sing for the baby until the baby sleeps. The baby will remember all that and will prepare the baby psychologically as they grow older. They become more responsible citizens. Babies that are taken care of and that are loved by both parents, they are better citizens generally later on in life.
Oh, this is amazing, man. I'm getting emotional now. I'm actually getting emotional.
I can see.
This is strange. Okay, Doc. Your final words when it comes to postpartum depression for both. This is interesting. I didn't know that men can also get to experience it. But, your final words for both parents and also for, family support as well.
Yeah. It's very important for you to plan. To begin with, plan your pregnancy. Make sure you're financially sound. Make sure you're emotionally sound. And to agree with your spouse, with your partner that you want to have a baby. Let it not be a one-sided decision having a child. Then once you agree, please work together. Husbands, we encourage you to be supportive, be there throughout everything. Go for tests, go for booking, go mascan, everything. Go with your partner, support them, and also bond with the baby. After birth, be there. It's always good for you to be there, even during delivery, so that you receive your baby. You start bonding from the time they are born. Always be there. Financially support, physically support, emotionally support. If you love the wife and you do good to them, then the baby will also be good. So it's very important for you to take care of the wife so that the baby is healthy, and the family at large, mothers-in-laws, the mothers as well. Please support this pregnant woman in everything, and soon after birth, make sure you take care of them. Make sure they don't lack anything, particularly love.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, Doc, maybe, someone would like to get in touch with you. How can they get to do so if they've got pressing questions that they need answers for?
Our social media handles, it's Dr. Joe 263, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Then WhatsApp number is 0719-395-231. 0719-395-231.
All right. Thank you so much to Dr. Joe for coming through. Our resident doctor is always helping us. And now he's getting us emotional for one reason or the other. But he's back again next Thursday right here on Power FM Zimbabwe. It is 11 o'clock and it's now time for the news.